Welcome to the Pikes Peak Library District's Law Collection's informational video on using Westlaw browsing. In this video, we'll look at the various ways that you can use browsing in the Westlaw database to find the legal research materials that you are looking for. So in the database here, you can see below the search bar, there's a section called Browse. So there's a lot of different ways that you can look through the content without actually running a search. Browsing can sometimes be a helpful way to narrow it down to a particular resource. So if you know you just want to look at statutes, you can just search through the statutes, or you're only interested in secondary sources, then you can just focus on one document type rather than running a search and having to sift through everything that's available. So in this browse area, you'll see there are several different tabs. So you can browse by the content type. You can also browse by jurisdiction. So if you're looking for federal materials, here are all the different federal sources. If you're looking for state materials, you can go into the states and browse that way. You can also browse by the various practice areas as well. So let me just kind of demonstrate a few different things for you. So I'm going to go back to the All Content tab. One I want to highlight is this topics and key numbers. So this is a great way to browse for cases by a specific topic area. So let's click into that. The West key number system is essentially an index of different subject terms so you can find cases by a particular topic. And so if you're looking at this list of topic areas for case law, you'll see each one has a little eye that appears when you hover over it. If you click on that eye, it's going to tell you what subjects would be included and what subjects wouldn't be included. And with the ones that are not included, it'll point you to where you can find those particular subjects discussed if they are in the key number system. So let's go ahead and just click into one. So let's say I am interested in abandoned and lost property. Then it gets subdivided even more. So if I want to then continue on, now it has pulled up the 4 cases that match this very specific subject area for the federal jurisdiction. You can always change the jurisdiction. So if you were interested maybe not in federal cases, but state cases, then you could select the state you're interested, hit apply, and that's going to refresh. And for this particular subject area, there are no cases in Colorado. Let's do another example. So I'm going to go back to the home page, and I can always do that just by clicking on the logo. Let's say this time I'm interested in some secondary sources. So secondary sources, these are sources that help to explain the law and key concepts. So they can be very useful in helping you to figure out what key laws or cases apply to a certain area. And they can also give you valuable explanations about what the laws mean. So I'm going to go into secondary sources. One thing you always want to pay attention to is on the right-hand side, there will oftentimes be some useful tools hidden away here as well. So one thing I want to point out when you're on this secondary sources page is we do have Black's Law Dictionary in here as well. But let's go ahead and say we're interested in looking at something in American Law Reports. And so now here we have all the different topic areas. You'll also see though here now the search bar has changed. It says it's just searching American Law Reports. So I could run a search now and only search this one set of resources rather than searching all of the secondary sources or all of the content in Westlaw. And then over on the side here, if I wanted to look at the index, I could go in there to look at the index for this particular source. So again, pay attention to what's over here on the right-hand side. Let's look at another example. So I'm going to go ahead and click back on the logo. This time I'm going to go into state materials. And so we'll go into Colorado. And again, I want to look for a secondary source for Colorado. I'm really interested in the Colorado practice series. So again, you can see here the search bar is just searching Colorado resources. I'm going to click on Colorado practice series. Now the search bar will only search these sources listed here. So it's narrowed it down, and I can narrow it down even further if I'm interested only in civil litigation. I can click on that, and now it's only searching this one source. I can also browse through the source down here by clicking open these plus signs so I can see what is covered in each section. And so here, you know, if I just wanted to see, well, what does this source have to say about evidence? I could run a search, and it's only going to pull out sections from this one particular source. Let's do one more example. So again, I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go back into state, back into Colorado. And now let's say I'm looking for something in the Colorado court rules. So I would go down here, statutes and court rules. They have just the court rules here. So I will go ahead and click on that. And it has all of the different sets of court rules available, whether it's civil procedure, criminal procedure, etc. So let's say though, I want to narrow it down again. I'm really just only interested in the rules of civil procedure. So I'll click there. So now we're just searching only the rules of civil procedure, and I will run my same search again just for evidence. And so now I just get only the places where evidence gets mentioned in the rules of civil procedure. You could also, since it is quite a few results here, 180, you could run another search within this one to narrow it down even further. So that's another option too, just to get the results list to be a little bit smaller. So in a nutshell, that's how you use the browse function in Westlaw. Please see our other videos though about how to get into the database and the basic navigation. We also have a video on searching. There's one specific to case law research, as well as the practical law function in this database as well. And please feel free, you're always welcome to reach out to us at the library if you have further questions, but I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.